You lot, I know, don't point out the obvious, but I know my hair's all fucked up. I know. I just wanted to make this video real quick beforehand. I've been kind of ill, and I was like, fuck it. Appearance don't matter, right? Anyway, it's all about the inside. Anyway, so obviously I'm here doing the what do you call it? Oh, the roundup of the group stage, and I just want to say that this has been the best group stage of my lifetime. Like in terms of the upsets, the ones that went out, it's the controversies. Like I said before, like the quality wasn't like mad to get it. Let's have it right. But in terms of the entertainment side of it, the other side of entertainment, which is the thrill of who's going out and all that, this has been one of the best, or probably the best actually, that I remember. My first World Cup was 2010. So I've seen now, including this one, 4 World Cups. So, like the maths, 2014, 18, yeah, 4. Sorry, just had to make sure. But yeah. But anyways, I love Dribble Dribble. I love enough Dribble Dribble. Let's get on to the round. So obviously it was Ecuador versus Senegal, and Senegal beat them 2-1. Like I said, bro, Senegal is my dark horse, bro. Like I said before when I did my England video against Wales, I expect England to beat Senegal 100%. But at the same time, I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if Senegal not only put a shift in, but also win. Because we have a fraud of a manager in Southgate. I think he's such a fraud. Like, you guys know how much of a fraud I think he is. But, yeah, anyway. But, I knew they would go through. I really did. And they did. So, congrats to them. Like I said, I don't expect them to get past round of 16. But if they do, it kind of points out to the fact that I said that, first of all, he's a fraud, and second of all, they're my dark horses. I feel like they have a really good team. But yeah, congrats to them. And they'll play England tomorrow evening. Then it's Netherlands versus Qatar. Qatar were already out before that game even started. Probably been the worst host of all World Cups. How many goals did they score? Did they even score a goal? Let me know. I don't even know. But yeah, Netherlands 1-2 cool, top of the table to face USA, who they've just beaten actually 3-1. So I never really thought about Netherlands like that. I really didn't think they'll get past the quarters. So that's how I thought. Yeah, no, but. I think if they win and then Argentina win, they face each other. I think they will face Argentina. Not Argentina. Sorry. I'll come to that later. I don't remember. But yeah. Now they've advanced through the quarters. They're the first one to do that. I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna do this before the Argentina game against Australia. But yeah, congrats to them. And obviously there was Iran versus US. Obviously US won. 1-0. Iran are out, great. And now they're out too, because obviously everyone's beat them. And obviously England versus Wales. I've already made a video on that, so I won't go on too long. But yeah, congrats to England. Rashford getting 2 goals, Foden getting 2 goals. Restoring the faith of the manager. Whatever bullshit, but it's just at this point, like, the manager doesn't know he's the best 11, and that's as simple as that. I might do a little England preview, actually, since I'm not working. I might have time to do that, so, yeah. And then it's Australia versus Denmark. Denmark have been dreadful. I think people thought Denmark were going to do something this tournament. They thought, no, you know what, they've got a good midfield. And, they've just been dead. They have been dead, bro. Like, did they finish bottom of the table? They finished bottom? They had to have because Tunisia beat France. Dead, like honestly dead. So I think a lot of people had them into like making it out of this group stage. Didn't have a thought for them. Um, but yeah, you know, it should have been a 1-0. They go through. They go and face Argentina. Um, and yeah, congrats to Australians, man. I saw that video of them like the fans of Australia obviously were up at 3 a.m. just to celebrate that goal and the win. That's just amazing, man. That just goes to show how connected and how important and vital football is to a whole nation to wake up at 3 a.m. You know, it's mad. But congrats to them and good luck Argentina. Even though I don't think they'll win 100%. Anyway, Tunisia versus France. France did play the weaker side. They played Camavinga right back, like, but he had a good game. He did have a good game at that side. But yeah, they won lost 2-0. 1-0, sorry. That wasn't enough for Tunisia to go through. But yeah, that's my favorite still. I don't care what anyone says. Like, they're still gonna win it for me. It's gonna be so funny, yeah, when I get all my predictions right. But I just realized actually that um if France win their round of 16 game, which is against Poland, it's against Poland, and then Argentina beat Australia, then they had to face each other. So Argentina coming second might not happen. Actually, I might have to rethink that. Yeah, I might have to rethink that. And then also, if whoever goes through there, I think, obviously, if England beat, the Senegal, then I think they face one of them E2. I don't know who's going to be for, so I might have to do a little rethink of that. I'll be real. Well, if that's the case, then, I think France will beat Argentina, and I think France beat England. So, yeah. So now I'm down to Saudi Arabia versus Mexico. That was an authentic game because obviously we know that Mexico and Poland had the same goal difference. And they were going to go through. Poland want to go through because of the fact they had less yellow cards. So obviously those two games, the Poland shooting game, also Argentina won 2-0. There were so many opportunities. I think that I saw an XG that they had 3 point something. Like they should have won that game, in my opinion, about like 4 goals. And Poland nil, obviously, because it didn't look like they were threatening at all. Like Paul Lewin, bro. But Saudi Arabia did something that made me laugh, and I think that kind of gave an idea to Ghana, fam, because they were like, you know what, if you're going down, you're coming down with us for real. And they score a goal in the dying minutes, breaking all the Mexican hearts, bro. But that free kick, though, bro, that is the goal of the tournament so far, 100%. But yeah, that was, for me, that's when the excitement started to come in, like, of the group stages. Because, the first, games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. So the first 6 games of the last rounds of the group stages weren't that exciting, let's be real. But this is where you start seeing jeopardizing and, critical times, were coming in. But yeah, it was great. It felt like a knockout stage before the knockout stage happened, and that's why I like about the group stages this tournament. Like I said, obviously Argentina beat Poland 2-0. They were just waiting to see if Mexico were gonna score. It was actually mad. But yes, Saudi Arabia did them a favour, but they're now going to face France. Canada won, Morocco. That makes sense. Morocco won there. Why does it say 0? It didn't 0. So I just want to make sure my... Okay. Okay. I shouldn't say 0. Did Morocco lose 1-0 to Canada? I don't think they did. I think they won 4-1, didn't they? Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, you lot. But yeah, anyway, Canada are out. At least they scored their first World Cup. Um, but Belgium versus Croatia, that game, like, honestly, like, let's talk about Romelu Lukaku for 1 minute because I'm not gonna go too ham in him because you know it is like everybody's already done that. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's already done that. I think I heard again that the Ghanaian government mentioned him in parliament, mentioned him and Maguire in parliament. Like, if you haven't seen that video, you like need to check it out because that's actually jokes. But he had I for me, yeah. I know people are gonna talk about 3 opportunities, and the second one wasn't that much of his fault because he kind of just ricocheted off him, right? But I think the chance when he hit the post, I think he has to bury that. It's not like he wasn't aware. Like he controlled it, shifted it further, and shot to the post. Like it's basically an open goal. Like he had to score that. And then when was it Meunier or was it Torgan Hazard? He rips it, and then it comes off his chest. Like these are the things as a striker you have to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never really concurred with the fact that strikers should they can get away with it sometimes because it wasn't expect. You should always be expecting that. I don't care if it's Van Dijk mixed with prime Sol Campbell, mixed with prime Rio Ferdinand, mixed with prime Tony Adams, prime John Terry, prime Busquets, I don't know Busquets, sorry, Puyol, prime Sergio Ramos, prime Thiago Silva, mash up defender, yeah. If you mash all that quality defender, I don't care, yeah, if it's all like that. Don't ever expect the defender to get it. Always be aware. The goalkeeper makes it, makes a huge mistake, by the way. He's a Polish goalkeeper. There was a Croatian goalkeeper. I've forgotten his name, but he makes a huge mistake. He has to gamble. You have to gamble and try. What are you gonna do? What's the worst that's gonna happen if you gamble? Score a goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's choked off offside. But bro, like, come on, bro, you're on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was just dreadful. And look, Belgium have just been dreadful all tournament. Like, every single player deserves to go home. And De Bruyne had a stinker of a tournament, And this is not one of them ones where you're like, he plays for a shit team, so what you expected? Like, he's not 11 man. But considering that they're second on the ranking, and this was quote unquote their golden generation, you just gotta think about like there's not really any excuses for him. Like he had a dreadful World Cup. Will it be his last? Probably not, because nowadays man of them are playing at least 35 now. So it probably won't be his last World Cup, but bro, like they, people don't only want to use international level to sort of holistically judge a player, but you have to when it comes to De Bruyne because I was one of those people that thought, what, the past 10, 15 years he's been probably the best midfielder in the world, period, in the world, and probably the best midfielder in Premier League history, if I'm being honest. Like his assists, his contribution, his titles. Premier League wise, that's untouched. But when you're comparing it to a lot of people who are playing in his position of all time, you have to take into account his international achievements. And you got to the semi-final of the Euros. I think he was also semi-finalist on the World Cup 2014. You know, you got to think about it, and you know, it it has to take into account. It has to take it. You have to take it into as a factor that you know he hasn't didn't perform well. You know, and it was just dreadful for him. Not just him, but obviously, you know, for Tongan was shit. For Tielemans was okay. Actually, I think maybe he was the only one, and Hazard, Eden Hazard, that is. But everybody else was just poor, and I deserved to go out. And obviously, Martinez, who I thought was the biggest fraud, resigned. Or I think he resigned, or that they were cutting ties with him. I don't know, but you know, I feel like they're gonna try and get Pochettino now. I think Pochettino would be a good manager for Belgium. He's a fantastic coach. And that'll just be a shame for England because, you know, I've always said, sorry, pardon me, that Pochettino with this England squad will win us the World Cup standard, bro. Standard. But I think Belgium are going to snap him up. You know, he came out recently saying that he wants to go back. He might want to do international management. And I think that would be amazing coup for the Belgium FA to get him. And yeah, you know, will he keep Henry? I don't know. I saw him obviously consoling Lukaku, and I'm like, yeah, he can console the nigga, but bro, like he should have scored at least 2 goals in my opinion. But yeah, let's get on to the next game. Enough about Belgium and whatever. What am I looking at here? Costa Rica 2, Germany 4. Obviously, you know, not really much in that game. There was a moment there where Costa Rica were beating Germany for like 3 minutes, and it meant that Spain and Germany were going out of the World Cup. What a if that ever happened, guys, like that would be like the weirdest group like I've ever seen in my life. Just wow. But anyway, yeah. Oh, apologies. But yeah, Japan 2, Spain 1, and you know what, the controversy, did it go over the line, did it not? Bro, it didn't. Like, the angle was seeing it from, it's like from here, but when you look on top, you can see that they're judging it by the whole circumference, bro. The whole circumference of the ball, yeah? And you can see that the ball is still on the line, bro. This is the ball, this is the line, yeah? This is it going over the line, and he's touching it still. It's still touching it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, it's a goal. It was a goal. And, you know, it's a shame for Germany because obviously now that's the second time in a row they've gone out of the group stages. Will Hansi Flick resign? You know, that's what usually happens when a top international side don't make it through the group stage, or don't go as far as they should. It's that's usually the tell of the story, you know, like they resign. And if he resigns, does that mean Jurgen Klopp comes in? You know, does that mean Nagelsmann comes in? You know, who knows? But look, Japan deserved to go through. They were fantastic against Germany. They were fantastic against Spain. Like, the energy levels in that Spain game were unbelievable, bro. Like, it's just mad, bro. Like, it's obviously, look, you have to, you know, take off your hat for Germany. You know, they did win the game 4-2 after losing 2-1 at one point. You know, but it just wasn't enough, and they just, you know, you think about how many. I think they had like the best XG, the best expected goal difference, and the biggest chances created, and they're still out. Like, that all that says to me is we don't have a striker, and then that's exactly what they don't have. They don't have a striker. I know Havertz got in the man of the match because he scored 2 goals, but he's not a striker. Like, just watch him at Chelsea, and you'd be like, mate, you know what I'm saying? He's another forward as well, Havertz, because he cost Chelsea 80 million or something like that, and he's probably hasn't got 20 goals in all competitions since he's been there. So yeah, it's just it is what it is, and Japan, deserved group winners. But yeah, Japan and Spain go through. Ghana versus Uruguay. Now, obviously, you guys already know what that already meant for Ghana and Uruguay. Like, for some reason now, especially this game as well, it has now caused generational rivalry. Like, you cannot get Ghana and Uruguay to play against each other the way, fucking, England and Senegal are meant to play like tomorrow. Like, just two teams trying to do their job, you know what I'm saying? This one now has hatred in it, fam. Luis Suarez rolled back the years, bro. Man, them was saying on the Twitter, oh yeah, this is racism, fam. I was like, yo, but you know what it is like? It's just mad funny because you could definitely tell he was definitely trying, fam. Darwin Núñez, bro, is actually like, I just want to say this right now because you know what? I just think he's shit. I really do think he's a shit player. Like, I feel like he's just this guy that doesn't know what he's doing, and he's trying to do a lot. He's trying to do the most, and he's not focusing. Like, there was a moment before, or was it after, they missed a penalty, and he's through, and you're just expecting him to, like, score, like, oh, mate, this first goal to Uruguay. And the ball's behind him, bro. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, fam? Like, he's just not a good player, man. And I just remember how everybody was bare gassing that whole Haaland versus Núñez. Man shut that down easily, fam. And it wasn't even Haaland that shut it down. Obviously, Haaland's got 18 Premier League goals, but he also shut it down, fam. Like, man's not doing jack shit, fam. He's not doing jack shit. I don't think he's a great striker, man. I'm just so happy Arsenal didn't buy him. Because I think we were also one of the teams who were in for him, especially in January. But yeah, washed. Honestly, he's washed. I'm not expecting any big things from him. I'm really not. But yeah. But Uruguay, they did deserve to win because Ghana were just, they just missed a penalty, and I'm like, he took the penalty, and you know what? They said this in commentary, and I totally agree. He took the penalty not knowing where he was going. He had no idea where he was going to put it. He was just going to kick the ball and be like, alright, cool. And then what's mad is if you look at the goalkeeper, he's already diving to his left, and you're like, this guy's not looking at the ball. He's just looking at the ball. He's just thinking, and kick it. Like, that's it. He didn't look at you meant to look at the goalkeeper as well to see where they're going. You know what I'm saying? Because he was already leading to his left, fam. A poor penalty, fam. And, people were saying, why should he have taken it? He was actually one of the players who were in that 2010 quarterfinals game against Uruguay. So, obviously, he knows the trauma against it. But he was just a shit penalty taker. Like, it really was. And I think Ghana are one of the best footballing sides of Africa. Probably, like, footballing-wise, I think they're probably better than Senegal, if I'm being honest with you. Just don't have the best squad as Senegal, I think. But yeah, I think the playing style is much better than Senegal's. But they didn't really have good players. But one player that really stood out was Kudus, the Ajax player. That winger is frightening, fam. He's absolutely frightening. Anybody that snaps him up is getting a really good player because, these World Cups, I'm expecting a lot of transfers in this January. I really am because, they're going to see how people perform in this World Cup and be like, shit, yeah, I want to try and buy him. But the only reason why it probably won't happen is because it's obviously in January, so values just go up really high because, nobody wants to lose a player in the middle of the season. So, maybe we might see people paying up the price, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was really good. But, then when obviously going to my next game now, South Korea versus Portugal, when it was announced that South Korea were winning 2-1. Ghanaian play just started time wasting, and I'm just there like they're learning from the Mexican game, fam, against Saudi Arabia. Like, if you're going down, we're coming down with us. Or should I say in a Ghanaian accent, if you're going down, you're coming down with us. That's what they said, fam. But look, Ghana have been a fantastic team, and yeah, you know, even though I'm Nigerian, like I have my banter with Ghanaians, and whatnot, but they are a better team than Nigeria, and yeah, they're a really good team, and I wanted them to do well because you got to back the boys. You know what I'm saying, you really do got to back the boys. But South Korea go through against Portugal. For Portugal are dreadful. But congrats to them. You can see how Heung-min Son was crying. You know how much it means, man, to a lot of police players, man, to get your team, your country through out the group stages. It's a huge accomplishment, especially when you didn't think that they would be in it. Like if I'm being honest, I thought it would actually be Ghana and Portugal that would go through. From being honest with you, I thought Ghana would have beaten Uruguay because I thought Uruguay were poor against Portugal and South Korea, but I guess Rashishma, kicks it up again. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, South Korea, congrats to them, 2-1 winners against Portugal, and they are going to face. Who are they facing again? Is it Spain? I think they're facing Spain. Yeah, I think it's Spain. And then obviously we had the Serbia and Switzerland game, 3-2 winners for Switzerland, and there's a lot of political resentment there, the whole Albanian independence and the genocide that the Serbians committed as well for the ethnic Albanians. But Granit Xhaka, politics aside, Granit Xhaka had a fantastic game. You could really tell how much it really meant to him. He rattled almost all of the bench and the players, and he's now become this guy who doesn't retaliate anymore. Back in the day especially when we first signed him, like Granit Xhaka could be the first person to bump heads, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Or put their hand on their neck. Man was just like laughing at their faces, fam. He would get angry at them and then he would just laugh at you, man. Like, it's all this he's playing. They're playing checkers. He's playing chess, fam. And in doing so, he's time wastes as well. Yeah, he pick up the yellow card. He gives a fork, mate. You know what I'm saying? He'll do that, but he's just he was definitely man of the match. Fantastic player, and yeah, congrats to Switzerland. He just held up his balls to the fucking bench. I was like, yo, this nigga has no care in the world, fam. I rate it though. But yeah, congrats to Swiss. And then the last game was Cameroon versus Brazil. Brazil didn't start their, I guess, best 11. They lost 1-0 to Cameroon. They were already through, so that's why they did that. But obviously, it's good for Cameroon to get something out of it from the tournament. Beating Brazil, it's good. It's a big achievement, but I should wait. If I said that, Martinelli, fam, that's my guy. He showed up Anthony so much, that it really made me realize like price tag actually means jack shit, fam. Like it really also made me realize that, you know what, Eddie is actually a fucking goat, bro, because man took this boy from 4th division of the Brazilian of the Brazilian leagues, the 4th division, took him out, paid 6 million, only 6 million, took him out from there at the age of 18, 17, and has now made him, within 4 years, a starter of the Brazil squad, national squad. He's only 21, fam. He's only 21, but yet he's playing extraordinary above his age. Like, and he's just gonna get better, bro. And look, they didn't give him man the match. They definitely gave the goalkeeper man the match, but I thought he was definitely the best player of on the pitch, 100%, man. Just go and look at the compilations that people already have of him. Like, he's just, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that United rejected him and he came to the arse, man. So happy with him. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, and he's gonna have a fruitful future, 100%. I just hope he's forever at Arsenal. I really do. But Jesus is injured and he's out of the World Cup. And obviously, as an Arsenal fan, you know, you're just thinking, like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, I was just thinking to myself, the first thing I thought was, we're going to have Nketiah in the midfield, in the striking. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I just thought, how we're going to go through this without him. I know he's due to come back in January, which is not, you know, too far away, because, you know, I guess for 2 games, it seems like, we're gonna not play with him. But, you know, first of all, it's a shame for him, because, you know, there's a lot of backtrack for him being in there as well, and obviously he wants to prove people wrong, and now he's not gonna have the opportunity to do that because of his injury. So I feel sorry for him in that sense. But from an Arsenal perspective, even 2 games with Nketiah is making me, like, stressed out, bro. Like, he is not a good striker. I understand why some Arsenal fans like him. Like, he's young, he's tenacious. You know, he did do well when, you know, that was that period when Lacazette couldn't even score, even if it was in a bottle, mate. But, you know, he's just not, when we, you know, you lot need to remember that we're in a title race, okay, or at least we want to be in that. You know, we cannot afford to not have, and even though Gabriel Jesus hasn't been scoring goals, you know what he brings to the team, and that is something that's not part of Nketiah's game. Nketiah is, I want the ball to my feet in the box and so I can shoot. And even when he does that, that's not even a possibility that I will score. You know, there's been plenty of times he goes 1-on-1 and I'm not confident at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm worried. And hence why I've always been saying we need Ronaldo, because I know our backup is dead, fam. Or bring back Balogun. But I'm so sorry, like, I just cannot have Eddie Nketiah starting for Arsenal. He's not at our level. He's a Premier League goal scorer, 100%. He's a Premier League striker, and I think if Ivan Toney, for example, were to go to someone like Manchester United or another club, that's a kind of team that will take him. Do you know what I'm saying? Or even like a Southampton. But I just don't think he's an Arsenal level striker, fam. And we need to respect that. He's just not at that quality. We can't force it. Even though he's young, we cannot force it. Okay? But it's a real shame, man. I just hope, you know, it's not as bad as it seems like. And I was really just sure, you know. And I'm just seeing everyone on Twitter talking about, oh, Gary never this, Gary never that, you know. He's going to say, I told you so. And I'll be real, like, he's going to be right, bro. He is, because, like I said, Nketiah is not the one. And, you know, when we need that goal, which I think, you know, Gabriel Jesus will do eventually. But, you know, we do have a 5 points gap from Manchester City. But it's still, like, it's just one of them ones where you just don't know, you know, first of all, how will he come out from injury, and how will Eddie Nketiah be in terms of his link-up play and stuff like that. But this is the things I already know, though. It's the thing that makes me angry about Arsenal sometimes, because I already know how this all playing out, man. But yeah, look, I wish you, honestly wish you a speedy recovery. I'm hearing reports that's only for 3 weeks, so he'll be back before January. But yeah, Arsenal now in Dubai, I think, or they're flying to Dubai to have some warm weather training and some friendlies. I know they're having a friend with Juventus in a couple of weeks. So yeah, if they can just get him back to the medical, to the medicals at Arsenal to patch things up or see how he feels or speed up his recovery, the sooner the better. But yeah, that is my I'm really sorry to be just. I do want to. I just want to say I'm not trying to pick on Nketiah now. I know a lot are probably thinking that, but I just know his capabilities. I really do. I've seen him, and I'm like, there's some young players, for example Martinelli. Listen. Oh, okay. Let's think about the players who are young and have this promise that everybody knows they have. Real I'm thinking about Martinelli when he first came to start for Arsenal and play for Arsenal. We knew from that moment that he was going to be a fantastic player. Do you know what I'm saying? And him being in the Brazil squad shows that he went from, like I said, 4 years ago, man was playing in the fourth tier of the Brazil, and now 4 years later, he's a starter in a Brazil squad. These are things that you see and you watch him play. You're like, feck. How has nobody tried to sign him before us? Or what is everybody's talent scouts doing, fam? Do you know what I'm saying? But Bukayo Saka, when he was playing left back, man, them were telling him to put him at right wing. You know what I'm saying? He was a left back. He was a left back, Saka. This is what people don't realize, how good Saka is, bro. He was so good that we've essentially forced him to play as a right winger because he was so attacking, so influential. He had to be shifted 2 phases up and the other side. This is what I'm talking about. He was bringing contributions before he was doing that contribution we see of him and know of him today. Emma Smith Rowe, I will never forget that day when I saw him against, I think it was Atletico Madrid in that friendly, and I thought, feck. And I think I was in the US, and I thought, feck. It's just, was it Bayern Munich? I've forgotten. I think it was Atletico Madrid. And then obviously you see him last season being one of our most important players. Obviously, you kind of tell that because he had a lot of injury as well. But being one of our important players, got 10 goals in the league. 10 goals, I think 2 assists. And Nketiah has never scored more than 5 goals for Arsenal in the league. And actually, has he? In the league. How many goals did Nketiah get last season? He's got 2 against Chelsea. He's got 2 against Leeds. 2 against Chelsea, 2 against Leeds. I'm trying to remember. Did he score after that? He hasn't scored this season. I know that for sure. In the league. Is it only 4 goals he got? I can't remember. No, he didn't. He didn't score against United. He should have, but he didn't score. No, he didn't score against United. Definitely didn't score against Tottenham. Definitely didn't score against Newcastle. Did he score in the Everton game? I can't remember. But basically, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be harsh on the guy, fam. Do you know what I'm saying? But I've just seen his limitation. His ceiling is not as high as the people that I've mentioned before. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not an agenda. It's not an agenda. It's nothing to do with personal hatred or anything like that, or because I'm Nigerian and he's going and fuck that. But I just know I want what's best for my club, and I know that he's not the best for it, and that's as simple as that. So that's why I go on and on about it, because I know what I want to play my team to be, and he's just never gonna be that. So and even some instances, you can even mention that with even Jesus in terms of his goals going, but at least he brings something else to the squad that is world class. But yeah, look, I want to end it there because I was talking about the World Cup anyway, and I'm talking about in the Premier League now. But yeah, just I wish him a speedy recovery, Jesus. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go watch the Argentina game. I'll do a preview for the England game, 100%. I will do a round of 16 roundup, I guess. When obviously the round is ended. And then I might do another prediction video as well, because I just realized that my thing is just moving mad. It didn't make sense in the beginning. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe, all of that. And I'll see you lot in a bit. Peace.